Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm really excited to take you through some meal prep with me this week. I've just made my iced coffee for some fuel ready to go, as I've had such a busy weekend. Like, I've been in the house, but I've been painting and decorating, and I've been up again this morning painting. I've just had some breakfast and then just kind of freshened up. I put like a lip stain on that I've used before, but it was only staining the bottom lip, so then I've just had to put like a tinted lip balm thing on, so I think it looks a bit odd. And then my hair, I'm getting it done on Wednesday, so just done a little French plait. I'm just cozy, comfy, but feel like ready for the day. So like I say, gonna meal prep. I'm going into, well, I'm in the follicular phase now, so these recipes are gonna have lots of food that are gonna support my body in this phase. Balanced as always, lots of lean protein, fibre, fats and carbs, of course, because they should not be feared, guys. So I'm gonna start with these are my new pre-workout things. So usually, if you've seen some of my full day of eating, I'll have like rice cakes, banana and honey, or maybe some dates. Like, again, really rate it, but I thought going into the colder months I wanted something warm, and plus as well, this is literally get up, put it in the microwave, nice and warm. So I'm going to make some banana muffins based off a banana bread recipe that I use. So there is a one in my recipe ebook as well, but this one is a little bit different. So the one in my ebook is quite high in protein, so it's quite good for a snack or breakfast. Not that it wouldn't be good as a pre-workout meal, but this one's just like more carb based. So I am going to make this first. I'll put the oven on to preheat before I started this, just so it gets nice and warm, and then I'm going to get this show on the road. So I've got all my ingredients out for it. I'm going to bring you guys down here. Nice big bowl. So I'm going to start with, I would just like to say, guys, I know I've said it in other videos, I'm not a chef. I'm really not a chef, but I love to cook, I love to eat. So just like to share with you guys. So these are like all overripe bananas. I'm gonna keep one for the top. I'm gonna put 4 in the mix, I think. So I'm just gonna mush that in, and then I'll use a fork to really mush them. So this is quite a simple one, and then I love to add walnuts into this. You can, again, crush the walnuts, but I just like a bit of a crunch. I'm gonna get my scales as well, just for the oats and stuff. Kind of like roughly putting that in. And then I'm just gonna get my just little weighing scales and put in my oats. I'll also put all the recipes below, guys, of course. There we go. If you want some flour as well, you can use any flour. This is actually a gluten-free one. I'm not gluten-free, but I tried to minimise gluten because I feel like too much of it upsets my tummy. But you definitely don't have to use a gluten-free one. You can use any flour you so wish. So I put a little bit too much of that in, God's sake. Get a bit of that out. Honestly, got a bit flour happy there. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. I just don't want to like ruin the mixture, make them too dry. So that's that. And then we want a bit of bicarbonate of soda. There, bicarbonate soda. I mean, I'm showing you these, but I'm going to put them in the caption. A bit of baking powder. Whoops. Again, you should probably measure those out, but And then we want a few tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to add some honey. And then I'm going to mix this first before I add the walnut. I'm actually going to add some of the seed cycle that I use. I do have a discount code for this. I do work with these guys, but I have used this for a long time and I have done seed cycling for a while. So because I'm in the first half of my cycle, I'm just going to add this in. Extra bit of goodness and get some fats in there as well. And then I'm going to mix these all in and then add the walnuts in after. So they're nice and crunchy. Actually, I'm going to get a fork for this. Get all the wet and the dry all together and it smushes in with the banana as well. And naturally, I'm making a mess. Oh, guys, Aaron's text is there. He's been on a stag do this weekend in Cacao. Which one I'm doing this? Yeah, so Aaron's been on a stag do in Cacao this weekend, and he's just texted he's at the airport and we'll get him later, and he was like, oh, I've just been told that I've got a standby seat and I might not get on the flight. It's like, is he winding me up? He wasn't, but he's just texted us saying, panic over, I've got a seat. What? You know, it always grieves me so much because I always like cock up whenever we'd go anywhere, we end up sat in the wrong seats or we're there the wrong day, just all these silly little things that just happen that are usually my fault, and this is all him. He booked all of this. This wasn't even because he's on a separate flight to the stag do because they're going back to London. He's coming back here, and yeah, I can't wait to rub this in his face. So anyway, I'm gonna add in the walnuts now. Like I say, you can crush these up if you prefer, but I had these this week and it was actually really nice when I got a one with like a crunch in. So I'm just gonna let that sit for 5. I have put my muffin cases into the tray and then I've just sprayed them quickly there, just with some olive oil spray just for the stickiness, and I'm gonna chop this banana for the top. So I can add some cute little banana bits. Don't know what it is about the end of a banana, I really don't like it. And then these will go in the oven for around 20 minutes. 20-30 minutes. Yeah, sorry, I was just double checking my recipe there. So yeah, 20-30 minutes. I'll just keep an eye on them. I usually put a timer on for 20 minutes. And then we'll go from there. Right, so that's all ready for the top, and then, oh, where's my, right, we'll get these put in. So I'm gonna get this mixture in, now push that back, move my phone. I would love an island. I love my kitchen, but it's quite narrow, and I would just love like an island and like loads of space in the kitchen. But one day, I do love this kitchen though, like I say. So these are for me and for Aaron. So I've just been having like one muffin beforehand, and I've found that it's been a good amount before the gym. Sorry guys, I'm so bad at like thinking and doing things at the same time. I'm not very good at multitasking, like I'm the worst. So I'm just gonna shut up where I put these in. So I'm just doing like 1 tablespoon like per muffin case, and then with whatever's left over I'll obviously go and just add some more. Just want to make sure I spread them out evenly. Time to add the banana in. So it's really good if you've got bananas like leftover spare. So you're in that all right and all done, and then I'm just gonna eat these last bits. Oh, that my muffins aren't uneven. Ready for the oven, guys. So I'm gonna pop those in. So that's pre-worked out. Set a little timer on my phone for 20 minutes. I'm gonna lift you guys up. Oh, 20 minutes. Right, and then that will remind me. And then I'm gonna start on breakfasts, and I am making cherry bakewell overnight oats. Couldn't think there. So I'm gonna go and grab the stuff and then talk you through that one. I've just remembered, guys, before I start my breakfasts, I'm going to put my chicken in the air fryer for my lunches, just so it's got time to cook, because I put that in for like 25 minutes. So I'm just going to put some oil in to the bottom of the air fryer, and then I'm literally just going to put these chicken breasts in. Actually, I'm not going to put any seasoning on them. I'm going to be making rice paper rolls, so I'm just going to have my chicken prepped. I'm going to prep my veggies, and then I'll just make the rice paper rolls like on the day. 2 seconds. I really don't like touching raw meat, so it's just getting my little. Yeah, I'm just going to prep them on the day. Can't really like pre-make them, which is fine, but just doing things like this, like having your proteins prepped, you're having some veggies cut, it makes such a big difference. But what I'm going to do in this video is I'll put some little clips of like when I actually eat them in the week, so I'll record them so you can actually see them finished, but just wanted to kind of talk you through this process of like making everything. But yeah, so I'm just going to put this in for 25 minutes. So even if you're making like wraps or pittas, like making the fillings or like making the proteins, or even if you're just unsure what you're going to be having, I mean, I can't imagine like not having a plan of what I'm eating, because that's just me. That's 25 minutes there in the air fryer. But yeah, even if you just like prepped a load of protein and prepped and cut some veggies, it makes it so much easier, especially if you're busy, to just grab some things out of the fridge and throw something really quick together, and you know getting in some nutrient dense food, hitting your macro and your micronutrients. So I just wanted to get that in so it's got time to cook whilst I do all of this. And then now I'm actually gonna start my breakfast. Okay, Mrs. I can't imagine not having a plan. My cherries, to make my like cherry bakewell oats, there's like hardly any, and I thought it was another bag, but it was actually raspberries. I use like frozen, so I didn't order any more. And then I've also realised as well that I didn't order any more flaked almonds. I go on this, so change of plan. Gonna go with chocolate raspberry overnight oats instead. So what I'm gonna do is make the overnight oats. I have this vegan chocolate protein powder from Women's Best. I'm going to make the oats as the base, and then separately I'm going to make like a raspberry chia jam, and then I'm going to make it a bit like a parfait. So again, I will put like a video in and a picture, I'll show you like the finished product. Again, you could just have it like on top, you don't have to make it like a parfait if that's how you say it, but we'll make the oats first just so it's set, so you can't. I've tried it before where I've tried to layer it and store it in the fridge, but it doesn't really go very well, so put the overnight oats in anyway to start with. So I'm just gonna put my little, I'll show you guys. So I've got my little storage containers. I just get these from Amazon. Try and do 2 at a time just to save us. I'm going to add the protein in, so a little scoop just for a little protein boost. From here I'm just going to add a tablespoon of yogurt. Try not to let that go everywhere. Ooh. I'm just gonna put these on here. Just kind of eyeballing this. This just thickens up the mixture. And then I'm just going to add some milk. I'm using pea milk. I think coconut might be quite nice in this, but I don't have. And then I'm just going to mix these all up. I'm gonna pop the lids on these and put these in the fridge. So this is my post-workout meal, sorry. So a good mixture of carbs, fats, fibre, and of course protein to replenish and recover. I'm gonna pop these in the fridge so they are out of the way. My timer has just went off for the muffins, so I'm going to check them. Ooh, they've actually risen quite a lot. I'm going to just stick a fork in and see how they are. So you basically just want the fork to come out dry. Ooh, I think we'll give them 10 minutes. I'll put another timer on. I had to just move you guys because my camera needs to be charged, so it just seems to connect to the thing. So we're going to make the raspberry chia jam, so I will show you. So we're going to get a bowl. Oh gosh, I'm going to have to move right over. A bowl, then like I say, I just use frozen berries. Much cheaper, much easier. So you're just going to pop them all into the bowl. And I'm going to chop a lemon. Actually, I probably should have done this first for the pips. I really need a pip thing. And then just squeezing that in. I'm just going to try and get up the pips out that fall in. How annoying. This one looks worse. And then we're going to add some chia seeds. This up. I'm just going to put it in the microwave for like 90 seconds. Then I'm just going to store this into like separate little containers for the week. You can also add like honey or maple syrup to the chia mix, but I just like to add honey on top, so I've not done that just so it's not too sweet. So I've got these ready, these little jars. Again, these are just from Amazon, and then I'm going to pop them in these. And then once it's cooled down, store it in the fridge. Once the chia jam's ready from the microwave, you could also do this on the hob if you wanted to. I just like mix it in so the raspberries should be all soft. I literally do this with so many berries. I do like blackberry, blueberry, like I say cherry, and you can do like a mixed berry one. And this is like a chia jam. Really quick, really high in fibre. Lots of nutrients, antioxidants, especially if you feel like you suffer with gut health. You want to be making sure that you get at least, oh, I've just spotted a pin, at least 30 grams of fibre in a day to keep your digestion moving, along with 2 or 3 litres of water. Really makes a big difference, and chia seeds are a really great way to do that. This is basically just like a jam. Like I often make this and have it on toast, like a sourdough with like some yogurt or even some cottage cheese, and then like a berry chia jam on top with some peanut butter and honey. Oh my god, so good. I just love food, guys. Oh, there's my chicken, and I've actually lifted my banana muffins out as well, so I will show you once I've done this. There we go. So let me show you. That's kind of like a jam, and then I'm just gonna store it in these little containers, and then again pop that in the fridge, and then I'll just either add that on top or make it like a parfait. Oh, always drop stuff, how annoying. Should have had a bigger spoon, never mind. So you can crush this right down. I've crushed it but left some like whole raspberries in there because that's just the way that I like it. As I say, if you wanted it a bit sweeter because it is quite bitter, you could add some maple syrup or some honey, but I'm gonna add it to the top of my oat. I absolutely love honey. Again, honey's really good and packed with like anti-inflammatory properties. So another good one if you suffer with bloating. Obviously it's not gonna just cure that, by the way, guys. It's all about that balance and making sure you're getting lots of whole foods in there. And there we go. Well, honestly, it's one of the nicest things. I actually had it for breakfast this morning. Had sweet scrambled egg. So really good. Oh, so I'm just gonna pop the lid on and then store these in the fridge. Okay guys, my muffins ready. They look really good. They look better than last week's. Oh, they've risen really well. So it didn't actually look like too much when you put the mixture in. So I'm going to lift those out, let them cool, and then I'll just store them in the fridge, and then they last really well all week for me and ours before our 6 AM gym sessions. So that is my pre-workout and then my post-workout, my breakfast 1, breakfast 2 done. The chicken is done, so I just left that in the air fryer there for now. Then I'm going to prep the veggies, but before I do that I'm going to prep my afternoon snack, and I'm making sun-dried tomato pesto egg muffins. So I've left the oven on from the banana muffins so it's still nice and warm. I just didn't have enough space in the tray to do them together, so I'm literally just going to make a couple of these. Actually I might make 2. Yeah, I'm gonna make 2, so I need some more of these. Yeah, so I will show you guys these. I'm just gonna, you can put any veggies in these. I'm just gonna put tomato and spinach. I'm gonna just wilt the spinach in the microwave just to, it just goes into the mixture much easier. And then we can get these in the oven while I chop the veggies, and then everything should hopefully be done and I can get cleaned and tidied up, and then I'm sorted for the week. So I've put my little muffin cases into the tray, and then I'm gonna chop up these tomatoes. So I've got some little plum tomatoes. I'll chop these up. Before I do that, I'm just gonna get a handful of spinach, and honestly it's mad when you like cook this or heat this up what it goes down, what it's reduced it down to, sorry. And then I'm gonna just pop that in the microwave and it's easier to put in the muffins. And whilst that's in there, I'm gonna remove those eggs. This is making us really nervous. I'm just gonna chop up the tomatoes. You can chop these however you want. I'm just doing it in halves for quickness. You can do it in the quarters. I think I'm probably going to use most of these. I'm just going to set those to the side, and then I'm actually going to crack the eggs in here. I've got some liquid egg white as well to add to it, but I'm thinking, oh, there's my spinach. I will kind of just add it to the muffin cases just so I don't want to like make it too full. I normally just like top it up just for a bit of extra protein. Gonna add some salt and pepper into this. Again, you could add any herbs and spices. You could make these without the pesto. Just whatever tickles your pickle, guys. It's again quite a versatile one. I love recipes that you can just use like kind of as a base and then just change it up. So you could change the veggies, you could change the spices. It really just makes a difference to not have to like think of new things all the time. Same with overnight oats, you can literally make them so different all the time. Like I really love them, like overnight oats, baked oats, pancakes, French toast. You can change them up all the time, waffles, all that sort of stuff. Same with like wraps, you could just change the filling. Keeps it nice and simple. And like swapping out like a protein for a protein, or like a veg for a different veg, whatever it might be. And same with like the fats, you can swap out a different fat. There we go. So what I'm going to do, I've got my, oh god, just making a mess. Got my veggies, I'm going to pour this in. I'll add the pesto into here, sorry, and then I'll pour this in. I'm actually just going to use the rest of this jar because there's not all that much left. That should just give it a nice flavour. And then I'll just give that a quick mix again. I love sun-dried tomatoes. I love pesto. Just one of my favourite things, so that should just give that a nice little flavour. So again, I've sprayed these just to stop them from sticking, and then I'm just gonna rough pour this in. I might not even need any egg whites, to be honest. There's quite a lot, unless I just got a bit happy there, didn't I? Bugger. I always do that. I might have to tip these around now because I was like, ooh, there's loads. Why am I like this? So don't do what I did, guys. Just go a bit sparingly and then you can go around it. And then I'm gonna add in the spinach here. So again, just add a little bit into each one. It's just a bit easier when it's like sauteed like this. Again, you could do it in the pan or just do it in the microwave for quickness. There we go. And then I'm gonna add tomatoes in. Oh my god, that was so good. Actually, that's perfect. I didn't even plan that. And then I'm just gonna mix them in a little bit. Pop it up just with a little bit of the liquid egg whites just to make them nice and full. A little boost of protein. Don't have to do this. You could always use more eggs if you wanted to. It was just all I had left because I had eggs for breakfast, and then I was like, oh, I need them. So then they're all ready to go, and I'm going to pop them in the oven. Again, I'm going to do about 20 minutes and then check them and then go from there. Right, and then while the muffins are cooking, I'm just going to sort my lunch bits. So I'm just going to put the chicken in some Tupperware so it's lovely and crispy. I'm thinking I need to shred this maybe, so I might actually shred that now. I feel like Wesley might come in because he'll smell the chicken. It's his favourite. Yeah, I think actually I'm gonna do myself a favour and shred that now. So just 2 forks and just put it apart. It's still very hot. I'll let this cool before I put it in the fridge, but then this means it's just ready to go. I can either heat up the chicken or just have it cold really. So I'll do like, this is 2 days, so like Monday and Tuesday in one bowl, and then Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday I'm off down to London because it is my event, which I'm very excited about. I'm doing a little health and wellness event with my team. So some of our clients are coming, some of my non-clients are coming, so I'm very excited. So London, Friday I don't need anything because we go to London at like 11 o'clock. So I prepped a 5th breakfast, so I've got something quick so I can get to the gym Friday morning and then just come back, have my breakfast, have a shower, get ready and go. Again, like I always say this, like just a bit of forward planning so you know where you're at with things can make such a difference. Like even this, I can't properly prep my lunches because I can't make like the rice paper rolls, but I can prep the protein, I can shred the chicken, and I know that meal prep takes like a bit of time and it feels like time consuming. You could always just put some music on, you could do it like with your partner, with your friend even, like whoever you live with, even get your kids involved, put a podcast on, put like something on YouTube, you could put me on, guys. you could even just watch a series, like set your laptop up or iPad or phone and just like help pass the time a bit quicker if you feel like if that is a kind of factor in stopping you from doing it. But as I say, it feels time consuming, but at the time this will save you in the week, and also just for like keeping you on track. If you've got a certain goal, I would definitely say like this is kind of like something that I would say is a non-negotiable to like plan ahead. But even if you're just wanting to live like a healthier, balanced lifestyle, like I can't like stress this enough. I mean, for fat loss, I would definitely say a plan because it makes it a hell of a lot easier and much easier to stay on track. But just any goal, to be honest, just to make sure that you're getting in those key nutrients, like I say, make sure you're eating enough protein, make sure you're eating enough calories, and that you're not going to get caught out. And even if you do get caught out, which is kind of inevitable, you know, some days won't always go to plan, it's still going to help you to keep the balance across the board and feel like you're not like spiraling into like any negative habits, if that makes sense. So yeah, sorry, you just can only see me shredding chicken. I should probably just have you guys up here while we chit chat. Oh, sorry, you've been staring at chicken the whole time I've been saying that, but just maybe you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope that helps anyway. You know, like I work from home and I work for myself, so I do have flexibility in my schedule. I am able to actually cook my meals on the day, but I've noticed the last few months that actually doing a bit of meal prep makes a really big difference because I'm really busy and I feel like I've got no time, whereas this actually saves me so much time in the week. So whilst it can feel a little bit now, I mean, it's Sunday morning, like I've got up and like as I say, I've been painting and stuff, but just think if you get up and even just do it like before you do anything for the day, like next weekend for example, we're actually going to see a wedding venue again, which is very exciting. I'm taking my mum, so I'm very excited about that, and that's like 12 till 4, so I'm gonna have like a busier Sunday than what I have today, for example, but I'm just gonna get up and get it done in the morning, and then I can just go and enjoy my day, and I know that I'm like set for the week. So something I would always recommend. So that's all done there. I'm gonna let that cool down before I put the lids on, and then I'll put them in the fridge, but I'll chop up these veggies now. So for the veggies, I've got cucumber, carrot and red pepper. I'm just going to cut these into strips, and then they should hopefully go in the rice paper rolls, because the rice paper is quite, I've got them in here because it can be quite like, I say flimsy, you just don't want to put too much in, so I just use these ones and like the spring roll ones. You can also fry these off as well, and then what I'll do on the day is I'll just add a bit of soy sauce, lime juice, and maybe just some like other spices. Maybe I might make like a little mixture with some like ginger in. I think it would be quite nice. And then just add that in on the day. I did debate putting them in the little glass jars, but that will just take 2 minutes. But yeah, I might just chop up a few veggies and see how I go. I might have to cut some more in the week. I don't know, cucumber's a bit of a funny one when you chop it, isn't it? So I don't want to chop too much, but I'll chop up like the carrots and the pepper, see how much I get in each roll, and then can kind of assess from there, because I've not made these for a long time and I don't want to like make too much, but I suppose you can't have too many veggies, I could just have them on the side. So yeah, I'm gonna get these all chopped up. There we go, guys. So got them in there. I think that might be like all right with like the rolls. I'm gonna see how I get on the next few days, and I can always just chop some more one night, and then I'm just gonna pop these in the fridge. But nice. So that is done for this phase. So the follicular phase, like it's kind of like you're in a spring, so you want to think like that really helps with the foods that you're having. So thinking like light, fresh, bright, vibrant. Obviously it's like actually autumn outside, so you don't always want like, you know, kind of like summery type foods, but this is a good way for like getting in that kind of aspect of it. Again, you don't have to have like, you know, spring summery type meals or like cold meals, but like I say, just like raw kind of veggies are quite good around this and the ovulation phase. So yeah, that was my reason for having this. Like carrots are really good for this phase as well. Chicken, like lean protein, eggs, really good. So, you know, I mean, they're good for any phase, but as I say, they bring a lot of benefits for this phase as estrogen starts to rise, to keep us feeling good and help our energy levels. As estrogen starts to rise again, our energy typically tends to rise, but you still want to support your body with your nutrition, with your movement, sleep, minimal stress, drink enough water, all the good stuff. So yeah, I'm going to pop these in the fridge, and then I think the egg muffins are just about ready. And the egg muffins are ready. I just had to leave them for a little bit longer. Two of them have like popped up. I'm actually going to angle the camera down. This will be a better angle. There we go. So I'll have two each day. Really good, like high protein snack. These also work really well as breakfast on the go. You can make like a few. I do tend to do like kind of an omelette version where it's just in the glass container, so it's like a bit bigger, more of like a breakfast. But again, these, if you're not really that hungry on a morning, really good way to get some protein and nutrients in without like being overfilling. So a nice little afternoon snack for me to keep us going this week. So I'm already excited to have these. So I'm just gonna let them cool, and then I'll pop them in the fridge and just store them in there for the week. But that is it, guys, done. So that took me just over an hour. And again, it feels like, oh, an hour, like whatever, and I used to be like that as well. But honestly, the time that would save me in the week is so worth it for me. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. All recipes and stuff in the caption, like the breakdown and stuff, calories, macros. Again, with calories and macros, you can always tailor these to suit you if you want to make more. Whatever it might be, then that's completely fine, but I'll pop them in there anyway for what I've made. As I say, hope you found it helpful, guys. Any questions, pop them in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one.